It was Christmas Eve in Elk Ridge, Pennsylvania, and the snow had been falling so long it seemed to erase the town one porch light at a time. Sarah Miller got off her shift at the diner at 11:17 p.m. She was 22, serious-minded, and usually the last to laugh at the regulars' jokes. That night she only wanted to get home, feed the cat, and call her father before midnight. She pulled on her coat, waved to the waitress closing down the pie case, and stepped into the blue-black cold. She never made it 3 miles. By morning, her father, retired Deputy Earl Miller, found her car idling on Highway 12. The driver's door hung open. Her purse sat on the passenger seat, her keys still inside. On the shoulder of the road, neatly side by side in the untouched snow, were her boots. No tracks led to them. No tracks led away. Earl searched the ditch himself before the state police arrived. The woods on both sides of the highway were dense with hemlock and old oak, their branches heavy with snow. Beneath the smell of pine and exhaust was something else, faint and wrong, like wet pennies left in a drawer. The search lasted 3 days. On the fourth, a hunter named Miro Vance came stumbling out of the trees with his face gray as ash. He said he had followed a sound like whispering, and at the center of it he found a clearing where a single oak had been wrapped in red ribbon, old computer wire, and strips of cloth tied in knots. Hanging from its branches were dolls, dozens of them. Some were carved from pale wood, others from corn cobs and bundled rags. Each one wore tiny scraps of clothing. One had a sliver of Sarah's diner apron tied around its middle. Another wore the blue scarf she had on at brunch with her sister the week before. One doll had a little pair of boots painted black. The police treated it as a sick prank until Earl recognized the carving marks. He had seen them before, years earlier, in the hands of Silas Thorne, the woodworker who lived alone past the old quarry. Silas was quiet, reclusive, and always sat in Sarah's section at the diner, never ordering more than black coffee. He would look past her shoulder as if listening to someone standing behind her. When officers searched his cabin, they found shelves of dolls facing the walls, a reel-to-reel tape machine, and a workshop table covered in delicate tools. No Sarah, no body, only hundreds of finished figures, all with blank faces. Then they found the tapes. Silas's voice, thin and trembling, filled the recorder in a loop of static. They come when the woods remember your name. Don't answer if they whisper from under the snow. Don't answer in winter. The oldest tape was labeled December 24th, 1971. On it, a child's voice could be heard crying somewhere in the dark, followed by an answering murmur, low and close to the microphone, speaking in perfect imitation of Sarah's voice. Earl did not sleep after that. The case went cold. Silas died in 2012, found seated at his table with his hands folded, as if waiting for someone to arrive. But every Christmas Eve since Sarah vanished, Earl has found a wooden doll on the hood of his car. The first was plain. The second had a tiny diner apron. The third wore a black painted pair of boots. Last year, for the first time, the doll had a face. It looked exactly like Sarah. And when Earl lifted it in his shaking hands, something inside the cheap carved body whispered, in her voice and under it, another voice neither human nor kind, "Dad, don't let them hear you answering." That night, the woods behind Elk Ridge began to whisper back.